how a typical nephron looks like. It has different parts. One is the Bowman's capsule, which has a parietal layer as well as a visceral layer. The visceral layer of the Bowman's capsule will be in relationship with the endothelium of the glomerulus. Thereby, this thing forms the filtration membrane. We have proximal convoluted tubule, the U-shaped loop of Henle, which is further divided into the descending limb, the hairpin bend, which lies in the medullary interstitium, as well as the ascending limb of the loop of Henle, the distal convoluted tubule, the collecting ducts of the belly. So, coming to the histological aspects. First of all, this function of this Bowman's capsule, where we can see this is the filtration membrane. Filtration membrane is actually formed by the two layers of the squamous epithelial cells or the pavement cells. One layer is contributed by the blood vessels or the endothelium part of the glomerulus, the tuft of the capillaries, and the other is contributed by the visceral part, the visceral layer of the Bowman's capsule. So it will be like this. This is the basement membrane of the glomerular endothelium, and this will be the basement membrane of the visceral Bowman's capsule. And we have in Bowman's capsule we have actually something called as podocytes. These things are called as podo means foot. We call it as podocytes because these having the cells of this particular layer have foot processes. So hence they are called as podocytes. The podocytes, and there we can see the endothelial cells getting in contact with each other, the pavement epithelium or the simple squamous mammalian cells, with these podocytes or the foot process by tight junctions, so that this membrane is actually a semi-permeable membrane. Only selective substances will be filtered from the blood vessels through into the renal tubular fluid, forming an ultrafiltrate, which after forming at this Bowman's capsule, after subjecting to defiltration, absorption and tubular secretion and all the other process, ultimately after reaching the collecting ducts of belly, this forms something called as the urine, which will be in concentrated form. The reason being the U-shaped loop of Henle. This U-shaped loop of Henle will act as a countercurrent multiplier and is responsible primarily for the secretion of a concentrated urine in case of mammals or human beings. In other lower animals, that will be you can say that it is not a concentrated, hypotonic urine will be secreted. There, the renal system in the lower vertebrates is completely different. So histologically, I have said that Bowman's capsule has podocytes or foot process, and then the endothelial cells, which will be adherent to each other with basement membrane focusing on each side, and there will be tight junctions in between these two layers of the cells. And here in the proximal convoluted tubule, we have something called as a cuboidal epithelium. It will be cuboidal epithelium. Cuboidal epithelium means the cells are arranged in in a single layer. It's a simple cuboidal epithelium, and the nucleus will be exactly at the center. And moreover, there will be microvilli. Very large number of microvilli will be present in the cuboidal epithelium of the proximal convoluted tubule. So what is the importance of this microvilli? This microvilli acts like a brush border, and therefore in proximal convoluted tubule there occurs if there is brush border, then the surface area of this proximal convoluted tubule will be increased, and there will be absorption of several substances such as glucose or sodium, secondarily chlorine and amino acids, and some other substances are absorbed at the proximal convoluted tubule or the PCT. Similarly, the distal convoluted tubule. The distal convoluted tubule, here also we can get same cuboidal epithelium. The simple cuboidal epithelium cells are arranged in a single layer with nucleus being at the center, but the number of microvilli, they will be very, very less. When you compare these two, the proximal convoluted tubule is also simple cuboidal epithelium, distal convoluted tubule also simple cuboidal epithelium, but the microvilli are more in proximal convoluted tubule, giving it a brush border and more absorption takes place at the proximal convoluted tubule because of the increase in surface area by this microvilli. Whereas distal convoluted tubule microvilli will be very less, but the same simple cuboidal epithelium will be present. So this is the proximal convoluted tubule. Then coming to loop of Henle. Loop of Henle, we have a descending loop of Henle, U-shaped hairpin, and ascending loop of Henle. To speak in simple language, entire loop of Henle is lined by what something called as a simple squamous epithelium or pavement-like epithelium. Consists of a single layer of cells. The single layer cells are flattened cells. They are called as endothelial cells, and they have a single nucleus. They are actually stretched. They will be appearing like tiles on the floor. This is also called as pavement epithelium. This squamous epithelium is present all over the loop of the Henle. In loop of Henle, we have descending limb, again thick and thin 2 parts. The U-shaped hairpin, ascending limb, again thin and thick 2 parts. So we have to understand one thing, that the descending limb of loop of Henle, it is actually permeable to water. Water is permeable through the descending limb, but it is not permanent to some other solutes like sodium or glucose. Whereas coming to the ascending limb of loop of Henle, here also same squamous epithelium is present, but here exactly opposite to that. Here water is not permeable. Water is not permeable, whereas other solutes, they are permeable through this ascending limb of loop of Henle, so that the and completely different. Here the flow of fluid will be from up to above to downwards, and here flow of fluid from the bottom to top. So these two things will act as like here it is like counter current. Movements are anti-parallel. Movement of fluid in descending limb and ascending limb are anti-parallel to each other, and here this is this loop of Henle acts as counter current multiplier, so that the concentrated urine will be formed. While the vasa recta, which is associated with this loop of Henle, that is nothing but the vascular, the arterial system associated with loop of Henle, it acts as counter current exchanger, and therefore all these things together forms a system which ultimately leads to the formation of the concentrated urine. Here one thing I would like to say, entire loop of Henle is lined by the simple squamous epithelium, also called as pavement epithelium, while if selectively a question is asked like thick ascending limb of loop of Henle, the thick ascending limb of loop of Henle, selectively this particular it has been asked, then it would be like the low cuboidal epithelium. Low cuboidal epithelium greater than squamous epithelium. This particular thing has been asked, checked in NEET PG examinations. So thick ascending limb of loop of Henle, if options are there like squamous is there and low cuboidal is not there, we'll go for squamous only. But if at all low cuboidal and squamous is there, it's better to go like low cuboidal greater than squamous is there in the thick ascending limb of the loop of the Henle. So next, distal convoluted tubule, I explained in connection with the proximal convoluted tubule. Next thing is the collecting duct. Collecting duct of Bellini. Distal convoluted tubule, what happens primarily, there is a hormone called as aldosterone. Aldosterone. So this aldosterone, with the help of this aldosterone, sodium absorption takes place in the distal convoluted tubule. Next, coming to the collecting duct. This collecting duct, so till this collecting duct, it all comes under developmentally one part, that is the metanephric blastema or the secretory portion. So till this the collecting duct, it will be lined by the columnar epithelium. Columnar epithelium is tall shaped cells with nucleus lying at the base. Columnar epithelium, you can say ciliated columnar epithelium. This is all about the secretory part or the nephrons. So secretory part of the kidney, also called as, which majorly includes several functions called as nephrons. Whatever the filtrate which is formed, that is called as ultrafiltrate, and that will be passing into this collecting ducts of Bellini, and all the collecting ducts of Bellini open into a part called as they will form a minor calyx. The minor calyx will be opening into the major calyx. Major calyx will be opening into the tip of the renal papillae. That particular part is called as renal sinus, and all these renal sinus and everything form the renal pelvis, and there comes the ureter, and from the ureter the entire urine will be drained out into the urinary bladder and the urethra. So till this proximal portion of the urethra, developmentally it is completely related to the other part. So it is lined by the urothelium, also called as transitional epithelium, which we are going to study. Pause.